Is the market in Raleigh and Durham finally cooling off? Stick around to find out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I'm Zach. This is my beautiful wife, Cindy. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner. You can also hit the bell to be notified of every time we release a new video. That number on the screen, that is our number. We put it there because we are licensed real estate brokers in the area, which means as much as we love to make these videos for you, we love to help you with your real estate needs even more. So if you've got questions about the area, questions about real estate in the area, we'd love to chat with you. So feel free to reach out. Like Cindy said, today's video is a market update. So a lot of things are happening in the market nationwide. Today, we're going to be talking about what is happening in the Raleigh-Durham market in the Triangle. So with that being said, let's get after it.
So we're going to kind of look at two different things. We're going to talk about our personal, like, boots on the ground per se experience with what we're noticing in the market with our own clients and ourselves. We moved recently, so we can kind of talk about that. And then in addition to that, we'll actually look at some actual data points, so it's not just our biased opinion. So just kind of talking about our boots on the ground experience. You know, like a year ago, it wasn't uncommon for us to advise our buyers to have to offer like $50,000 over the asking price to win out, because there were so many multiple offer situations. Now, like really since June is when we started to kind of start to see a shift. And then August is when, June, a little bit more in July, and like definitely more in August. We're in September now filming, but we don't have actual data points that are going to be released from our MLS until October for September. So all of our data is going to be traced back to August, and then just personal experience from September. But it's definitely changing some.
It's changing fast.
Changing pretty fast and changing some. I mean, it's definitely still a seller's market, but instead of, when we try to find out if a home has offers on it, it used to be like, we have 25 offers, submit your best in 20 minutes to be considered, or something is how it felt like it used to be, which was insanity. Now it feels like there's a lot more give and take between sellers and buyers, like negotiating. Now don't get me wrong, like the really beautiful homes that are affordable are still going in multiple offer situations from our experience, but if it's just kind of an average home and stuff like that, like we're noticing we can actually maybe get it for the asking price, which is crazy. Or that feels below. Or even below for some. We've had a little bit of luck. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, it has. And kind of just piggybacking off of what Cindy said, I think with the market that we're in, there's a lot of wiggle room in the negotiating for the offer, and there's a lot of wiggle room once you get under contract and negotiating maybe repairs or financial concessions. So it's completely different than what it was several months ago. We're putting folks under contract for under asking right now, which is really nice. The flip side of this is 4 months ago, I could sit down with the buyer and say, this is what you're gonna have to do to get a house in this market. It's really, really, really challenging to do that in this market because it's just everywhere. This week, I put someone under contract for really well below asking, and I also had a showing get canceled because someone put a sight unseen offer and it went in no time. And so it's so house dependent, which makes it really, really frustrating and really difficult to sometimes like hone in on a strategy or give good advice for a particular situation. But if you want to avoid multiple offer situations, you can today. You couldn't several months ago, you can today, which is really, really, really nice. So I think that's what differentiates today from March or April is you can avoid multiple offer situations and still get a really nice house.
Definitely.
All right, so on to the data. So one really interesting piece of data, and just so you know, the flow of this, we're gonna talk about days on market, average sales price, and inventory levels. So days on market, in June, the average day on market in the entire triangle was 9 days. In August, it was 16. And that's a heck of a jump. And I mean, when you're looking at percentage-based jumps, that's a really significant jump. And then it gets even more interesting if you compare August of this year to August of last year. There's a 77% increase from last year to this year when it comes to days on market.
Yeah,
which
last
is
year
wild.
it would be like
It's
3
wild.
days, you know, like most homes used to get listed on like Friday and then Saturday it was done, you know?
I feel like homes didn't even make it to the market back then. It was it was crazy. So yes, significant difference, which is really nice. You actually have time to think and process. For the most part, there's going to be homes you miss out on that go really quickly, but for the most part, you're going to have a little time to think and process whether you want to move forward or not, without having to jump in like you did several months ago. So that's really nice.
Yeah. And I think in like the grand scheme of things, 16 days is still not that many. Like compared to
not.
Like a healthier market. Like we're definitely still in a seller's market, but just like Zach mentioned, it's more of like the jump of like this increase of how many days. So September's data will be really interesting to learn about that.
Yeah. All right. So the next data point we're going to look at is average sales price. So it's really interesting. In July of this year, 2022, the average sales price in the area was $485,000. In August, the average sales price was $465,000. So it dipped $20,000. It's really interesting. I will say last year there was a dip this time of year, which I think was kind of a seasonal dip.
Yeah.
But
so I don't experiencing that.
Maybe to some degree, but I think there's a legitimate dip in the market that I think is going to differentiate it between a seasonal dip and an actual, the market is shifting. And so those numbers, I mean, a $20,000 dip on average is pretty significant.
Yeah, especially over just a 30-day span of time. Yeah, and that number was the same in June. It was about 485. So June and July were pretty similar, and then August is when it really dipped down. So it'll be interesting to see September's, average sales price and see if it, goes down again or if it stays at that 460, or maybe it'll go back up. I mean, we don't know. Could just be like an off month, but it is interesting data, and it makes sense that it could be market related, since we're also seeing that like average days on market go up too, because we're having this difference in supply and demand. So people might have to price their homes a little more competitively, or not get that 30,000 over asking type of offer for their home, which is going to bring it back down. So.
Now year over year, obviously we're still up in this August compared to last August. I think 15%.
Yeah, 15%. So in 2021, the average in 2021 of August was 402,000, and now we're at 45. So it's still a really big jump in just one single year.
It is, but it's not necessarily indicative of where the market is heading right now. And so, but it's just a neat statistic to know. All right, so the last metric we're going to talk about is inventory. So they say that a healthy market has 4 to 6 months of inventory. We're nowhere near that right now. No. However, we do have significantly more inventory than we have had recently. So right now in August, we had essentially a month and a half of inventory on the market. Compared to last August, we had half a month of inventory.
0.5.
And so completely different market from an inventory standpoint.
And 3 times as much inventory.
And then even from June to now, there's been an increase of half a month worth of inventory, which is significant. And so obviously when buyer demand is being pulled back because of higher interest rates, when interest rates get into the 6s, buyer demand is pulled back, and you have more inventory on the market. I mean, that's just a recipe for a more buyer-friendly market, which is what it is.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and those interest rates, I think, are a big reason that we're seeing the shift that we're seeing. I don't think it really, I think we still have a lot of demand in the area, but the interest rates are driving a few people out of the potential to buy, because, it just increases that monthly payment by a considerable amount. Because we, this time last year, we were in like the 4% interest rates. And now we're approaching 7, which is crazy. So
it's completely different.
Yes.
It's wild.
It is. So we do have one more piece of data that we wanted to throw in that is just kind of interesting, and that is percentage of the list price that was received. So what that kind of means is, like, if it was like at 100%, that means every home on average was getting exactly the list price was what was offered on their property. So last year, I mean, in some areas around the triangle, like in Cary, they were getting like 112% of the list price for sale. It's
crazy.
Crazy. It's like, how is it ever over 100? It's just mind blowing,
Which would be 12% over list prices.
Which is a considerable amount of money. But now, and that was just in Cary, but in general, around the whole triangle back in June, it was about 104%. So we're still talking about a very, very much a seller's market. I mean, most homes are still going at or above their listed price. July was about the same. In August, it did dip down to 100%. So
list price was the norm.
List price was the norm, which is kind of cool. So obviously that's an average. So some homes would come in way under, some are still going way over, but it's balanced right there at 100. So that's kind of cool to see, obviously that's still
it's refreshing, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Obviously that still tells us that we're definitely in a seller's market. It's not like 80% of homes get their list price, but that is kind of cool, and it'll be interesting. I haven't seen it be under 100 since I think it's since I could be slipping on a month or something, but I don't recall seeing that number below 100 since 2019.
I think in September we will see it below 100.
Yeah.
I think when September data comes out, it'll be below 100. That's kind of my boots on the ground feel to it. So.
Yeah, it feels that way for sure. But that's just kind of interesting data. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, still very much a seller's market. Still a lot of demand in the Raleigh-Durham area. A lot of people have been moving in because they're working from home now permanently after quarantine, or, we've had some big name companies that moved into the RTP area. So, there's still a lot of demand coming here. We have great weather and overall really a great place to live. So, still demand there, but it's getting a little bit easier to buy a house.
Yeah, which is nice, which is really nice. So,
definitely.
Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you want more videos like this, we have a ton more that you can watch. We have other market updates you can watch to kind of give you the trajectory of where we are today.
I'm sure we'll be back in a couple months to update you if our predictions for September were correct or not.
They will be. They will be. I know that they will be. But anyway.
He's very confident. He's putting this on the internet.
Yeah.
So they will be. Welcome all the trolls when he's wrong.
But thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner. That number down below, like I said earlier, that is our number. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text if you have any questions about the market, any questions about the area. We'd love to help you out. You can also find us on social media.
You can find us on Instagram at The Honeycut Realtors. We'd love to have you follow along there. You can message us there. Quick side note, if you message us and you're not following us, it goes into our spam. So we're not ignoring you. I just don't check the spam all that much because we get a lot of spam in there. So be sure to hit follow before sending a message, or you can just send us a text if you're not interested in following along with us. You're lost. We're very interesting people.
We're not. Well, we're very boring. Very boring. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we will see y'all next time.
Action.
Oh, you want me to talk?
Where's the dramatic sounds? I thought you were going to actually do it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, start it over then.
Cut. Dun, dun, dun.